ซินเวียนอึงค่ะเป็น Senior Prince Regional Product Manager Symantec Corporation มาบรรยายใน 2 หัวข้อได้แก่ Simplify DR by Symantec Backup Exact 2012 นะคะ แล้วก็ VA and Deduplication Technology ค่ะ Please welcome Mr. Sin Nguyen Ung.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to have 2 sections of backup access. The first one is going to be focusing on SDR, simplify. My bad. Can you hear me at the back? So today we're going to have 2 sections on backup access. The first one is going to be on SDR, simplify, disaster recovery. I'm hoping you guys all know about backup access and SSR, the Symantec System Recovery. So we're going to talk about how we integrate these 2 products into the latest of backup access 2012. So let's make a start. Today's challenge, we talk about RTO and RPO. By that it means the recovery time objective and recovery point objective. So in the past with backup access, you perform the whole service backup. When your server crashes, the only thing you can do is to go and find another machine. You install the whole thing, the OS, you install a patch on top, and then you install your applications and then patch up your applications to the latest versions. And then you start your backup access restore. That takes time, and that takes a lot of time. And in today's standard, we're trying to find a solutions that can recover your environment, your servers, in minutes. Okay? In the latest version of backup access, 2012, we incorporate SSR, the Symantec System Recovery features, into backup access so that you can perform full server recoveries in a short period of time. And also backup access provides a way for you to store the data on site and off site with the replication technologies. We call it replications. So the latest BE, we're trying to address 4 major areas. The first one is we combine data protections and disaster recovery into one single product. In the past, backup access is only for data protections. Okay? If you want to go for a VR solutions, you better have to go for the BSR or SSR. But today, we combine the 2 into one. And the second one is we change the user interface. Okay? We know the backup access user interface is good, but not great. We simplify the user experience so that it looks very similar to the Microsoft Office environments. If you know how to use Office, you know how to use the latest version of backup access, put it this way. And also, in terms of pricing complexity, in the past, we have more than 35 agents and options when you purchase BE. That's way too complicated. We're trying to simplify things so that next time when you go and purchase the later versions of BE, there are less options for you to choose from. The last one is deduplications. We have too much data to be protected. But we only want to protect our data once, the unique data. We don't want to repeat backup every time when there's new information. So there are 3 major pillars in backup access 2012. And in these sections, we're going to be focusing on the second one, better backup for all. By that we mean we're combining data protections and disaster recovery into one offering. So let's talk about the virtual conversions. Why do we want to talk about virtual conversions? Because imagine if your server goes down now, you have 2 options. The first one is you go and find a physical box. You restore everything onto these physical machines. The second option is you don't have a spare machines, and then you probably have a testing virtual environment. In that case, you can restore the whole thing into this virtual environment, and let it run for a short period of time before you go and find another machine. So by SDR, you're going to hear this term SDR, Simplified Disaster Recovery, a lot more in the near future. By that we mean every time when you try to perform a full backup, you have to protect everything on the machines, including all volume, status, and your system configurations. So by default, when you first perform a backup, everything on the local machine will be selected for you. You don't have to go and pick C drive, D drive, and E drive and your system stage. You don't have to make that choice, okay? Everything is selected by default. So with that full SDR backup, you can perform the conversion later. With this SDR backup, we're going to be supporting all these new features. The first one, bare metal recovery. Okay, you go and find another bug. You restore the whole thing onto these new machines. The similar hardware, you have an IBM machine, and then you go and find a Dell server. You can restore the whole thing as well. The similar hardware recovery. P2V and then B2V, you really have to be able to differentiate the two. The first one is physical to virtual conversions. Okay? You convert your physical machines into a VM. It could be a VMware image. It could be a Hyper-V image. Either one. B2V is backup set to virtuals. So you perform your backup first to a SDR backup, and then you make conversions from that SDR to a virtual image. And also you can perform an ad hoc conversions anytime from SDR backup to a virtual image. So this is the new UI of Backup Accept 2012. So the first time when you perform a backup, you'll be seeing all drive under this service, and the system state will be selected. And you'll see that status here. So SDR is enabled for this server. If you uncheck any of the files or configurations on this box, this will go to a warning status. So without the first SDR backup, you're not able to perform any conversions later. So when we talk about the virtual conversions, okay, we talk about agent-based backup. You probably know with Backup Accept, you have the agents installed on local machines. So in order for you to be able to perform an SDR, you've got to make sure the AWS, the agents for Windows servers, needs to be installed on the local machine so that you can perform a full SDR backup. The second point is agentless backup for virtual image. Okay? We don't support virtual image backup with agentless backup because using the agents for VMware and Hyper-V, we are giving a similar DR experience to all your virtual image. So how do we make the actual conversions? The first one is you have a protected service here, your Exchange, SQL, or Active Directory server here. When you are doing your backup, there's another task going on that converts your physical into a VM image. A VM image that can be started on. Okay? This is P2V, physical to virtual. So we are converting this physical server to a virtual image at the same time while we are performing the SDR backup. So our few points here is P2V is kind of like a parallel conversions. You have to schedule a full backup, and at the same time you schedule a conversions. Okay? You cannot just schedule a conversions without scheduling a full backup. And if you want to back up to tape, I'm sorry, we don't support that. It has to go to a disk storage. B to D, back up to disk storage, or it has to go to a deduplication folder when you're making your first SDR backup. So the performance limitations is depending on which one will take more time. So if the backup takes 2 hours and the conversions take 3 hours, for example, your whole experience is this whole exercise will take you 3 hours. And bear in mind, if the conversion fails, it's not going to impact your primary backup. But if the primary SDR backup fails, the rest will not go on.